party, yeah. I got a flask full of vodka in my passenger seat. My homie got a mansion, says that we could crash it for free. We gotta take...
What's going on, everybody? It's Luns. Happy What's Current Wednesday, August 26th, 2020. And that track you were hearing is from an older mixtape called August 26th by Malone. I remember playing the project on repeat with my homies for a weekend down in Charlotte. It was 4 years ago. Time flies. The track is Hollywood Dreams, not to be confused with his more recent album, Hollywood's Bleeding. And also, it wouldn't be a What's Current intro of mine if there weren't a couple birthday shout-outs. First, to my music engineer, Tone. Been collaborating with Tone since 2016, and more recently, he's the one who put the sauce on a couple of my latest songs, Make the Most and Worth the Wait. Happy birthday, Tone. Also, happy birthday this past Sunday to my first best friend in life, Big B, and also to the legend, Kobe Bryant. It's already been 7 months to the day since we lost one of the all-time greats, both on and off the court. His passing is one of those world-stopping moments that almost all of us will remember where we were, who we were with, and how we felt. A somber start to today's episode, but appropriately so. And finally, I just want to give a shout out to all the teachers out there, my fiance included, who are navigating some unusual and stressful times during these entirely different first few weeks of the school year. Unfortunately, abnormal has become the new normal. Times are weird, but we'll all get through it and come out of it more versatile and better than we've ever been. This week, Sean and I dial into the ideas of avoiding spreading yourself too thin, being selectively flexible, battling for discipline, and building consistency muscles. We both stumble into a paradox. Why are some things easier at the beginning while others are harder to start? And how the glamour work will always require the tedious behind-the-scenes grind. If you guys are vibing with us here in Season 1, please share, subscribe on Apple Podcasts, even leave us a review on there. The more 5-star ratings we get there, the broader our potential audience becomes. But thanks again for your attention week in and week out. Sean and I both greatly appreciate it. Without further ado, on to the current.
Okay, Kobe doing work. 2-4 on my shirt. He the greatest on the court, and I'm the greatest on the verse. Going for the 4th ring like it was his first. Gotta get the gleam. Do it for Kareem. 2-4 so nice, my flow so mean. Catch me at the game, sitting next to Goldstein. Kobe Bryant Nikes, purple gold strings. Kobe in the game, dunking on the whole team.
Anyways, there's this theme that Alyssa kind of hit on in the yoga class today that I was like, that I agree with that. I think it's applicable to so many other things. And it was when we were finishing the class in the Shavasana, where you're just laying on your back, chilling. And she kind of was talking about how, notice how you feel right now at the end of class compared to the beginning of class. And that's kind of something that's normally always said, but she hit on something that sounds basic, but it's interesting. It's that, notice how things are typically easier at the beginning. So at the beginning of a hot yoga class, for instance, you might be like, oh, I'm feeling good. I'm able to do everything. But you kind of hit that point, or at least I do this frequently, where I'm like, okay, I need to get a drink of water. I need to just sit down for a second and gather my breath. Good God.
You could restate the statement.
Gather my chicken breast is what I was saying. Get that protein. No, but gather your breath and just kind of like regroup. Got a one-track mind, bro. So anyways, yeah. I really latched onto that idea of things are normally easier at the beginning. And I kind of even related that in my mind to our podcast. Things I think might have been easier in the beginning because we had all this zest and all these ideas for like, let's get this out there, all this excitement. Not that we don't have that now, but now it becomes like, keep things going and you have to work for it a little bit more. Like we're planning some subjects to talk about, or we're planning for future episode formats where we're looking to add. There's one, and I think it's just kind of like that in life, that whenever you start something new, maybe even a relationship, it's easy. There's that new butterflies, excitement, and then over time that kind of wears off, and you're good, you're solid, but now you need maintenance work. You and I need maintenance work on our podcast. That's why we're doing this tonight. We're creating new content. And I really like that idea of just remembering that things are typically easier at the beginning.
Yes, that's a great thing, for sure. Dang, that's a good. That's a powerful lesson to be able to take away from yoga. Not that yoga doesn't have lessons that can be taught, but like a more than physical and or spiritual theme, which are kind of the main things that you think would come out of yoga. But that's like just a very applicable life theme, very broad ranging.
Sure.
Yeah, man, that's true. You're right. That's the same. I think the same thing that goes for a lot of people with just general motivation for different things. It's so much easier to get motivated for things just like, out of the gate. You find out about something new, decide something new that you're going to try after it. Oh, great, I'm motivated, I'm all pumped up, but then it's just that energy is going to depreciate.
That's what it is.
Energy depreciation.
Energy, like money, like really anything good, depreciates over time. And that passion for something new. I mean, think about a New Year's resolution. Do you enjoy going to LA Fitness on January 5th? No, because it's packed. Everybody, their mother is there. I mean, as somebody who might go normally, you don't want to go because there's all these people that are there that in 2 weeks they probably won't be there anymore. It's just packed now.
Yeah.
So that's the same thing. It's easier in the beginning. It's easier when you set the goal. Setting goals is important, but setting goals doesn't achieve goals. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I really resonate with the idea that you got to be a long-term player. Like, you got to be a long-term thinker. And I try to do this with some habits that I start. Like, these are non-negotiable for me. Like, I'm going to do these because if I don't do them, then I just feel like then I'm not practicing what I preach. You know what I mean? So it's kind of a tough thing to balance with, I think you have to be selective about the things that you decide you're going to start to do. Because you can only hold yourself accountable for like so many things. Like you can't say you're going to do all these things because you're not going to be able to keep it up.
Spread yourself too thin.
Spread yourself too thin. So
great stuff.
Yeah, I think sitting on the yoga mat today, I was just tired, but I've also been like, I know we were going to kick it tonight and have topics to discuss. I'm like, I start to open the mind a little bit differently. Like anything that I absorb, can we use that?
Yeah.
For content, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean, dude, that's non-negotiables. That's something that like we kind of dove into a little bit with our podcast last week. But another one that I feel like is going to be a good recurring theme, because lately I feel like one of my non-negotiables, and I don't think there are many. I definitely don't credit myself to be the most disciplined. It's something that I'm working on. I definitely am not as disciplined as I would like to be as of now, but it's like all things, a project, and over time we'll get to somewhere I'm happy with. But this podcast has been a non-negotiable. Like we have dropped every Wednesday.
Yeah.
And although we can't say with 100% certainty that's going to always hold true, because life happens, and I mean, we may even, who knows, the way the frequency or timing or ways in which we deliver our shows may change over time too with the times. But
yeah, of course.
But I have, I think enjoyed the anchor that this podcast has been kind of in my week.
Yeah.
It's held me accountable. I'll admit that I haven't loved Tuesdays, because Tuesdays have become the old friend I know all too well, procrastination. And it's, just every bit of that, as far as cutting up episodes, like over the past few weeks, the day before Wednesday.
Yeah.
but like I feel so good when I get it done.
Yeah.
And it's just like I showed up and like I got it done, even though it's Tuesday night at 10 p.m. I got it done to release first thing Wednesday morning.
And I can tell, like, not to cut you off, but you're like Tuesday night, you want it done by 10. I know, and I like that. Because I know it just describes what you're talking about. Like, you're gonna get that shit done.
Yeah, you can feel the pull, the current of energy.
You kept it together this week. I mean, sending that, you sent me the lunch talk on Sunday, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, I just didn't get
that
to
might
it.
Be right.
I didn't get it till Monday night. I didn't get to it just because I was catching up on my own life, and life happens. Yeah. But I remember sitting there in bed. I didn't get any time to record a lunch talk until I was in bed.
Yeah.
And I recorded one, and I remember I felt a similar feeling. That Monday night, it was like, I felt equally like we have to get something out. And it's Monday night, we don't have shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember thinking, like, I'm going to wake up tomorrow and I have work to do. Like, in a kind of stressful way, but it got on my list.
Mm-hmm.
And once I did it and I sent you the episode that we found, I was excited again. I was like, hey, I didn't even know we had this. And I was like, this is pretty good, I thought.
Yeah.
And once I did that, and then I recorded an intro, I felt good. My work was done, per se.
Yeah.
So I get exactly where you're coming from. And I think that's why it works, is because we both have that, like, discipline. And I think that's a huge word that we could talk about sometime. Yeah. Discipline. That's the second time this word has come up this week in my life. So yeah, I think that's what it takes, though. I mean, if you don't have the discipline, then we are the people that put out 7 episodes and never and talked about doing more and never did it. Like, I don't want to be known as that. Yep. I'm not, and I agree with you. We might not always be able to put one out every week. That's our goal. Life changes, but at least I know we're going to put something out. And when we do put something out, we feel that it has its quality.
Yeah. I mean, the episode we just put out is the longest one we've released yet. The last week's episode 7 was by far the longest. Yeah. And I mean, I think the theme you were talking about before is applicable to what we're talking about right now. The things are easier at the beginning. The podcast at the beginning, I still don't think, I guess it was easy, but there was the excitement. We had some content built up. It was, once we got episode 1 off the ground, we're like, all right, episode 2, episode 3, we've got this content. It's easy. But, as time goes on, there's that consistency. This sponsored, brought to you by Effen vodka with limes.
Neither one of us can speak. No, I'm kidding.
Drink number 5. That point win. The episode is no longer audible, but the consistency muscle behind the scenes has been putting in its reps. It's something that maybe going into this podcast, for me anyway, had been kind of weak. I hadn't been consistent with music. There was nothing that I had been consistent with creatively. And me being a creative, that's a part of me. That's a part of my makeup that basically was just being deprived. And this is now an outlet, not only an outlet, but one that I can count on to also hold me accountable to these developing consistency and discipline muscles, just like working out. Once you get the ball rolling and you get the momentum going, you get the reps in, the workouts, that one, I mean, I guess lifting is maybe the exception to the rule, where that can become easier over time because you get the ball rolling.
Yeah.
So it's a paradox. It's a paradox in that it can be, we might feel like there are times where it's difficult to keep the podcast going because life in our world these days, our world today, is not consistent, yet we still have to be consistent within the inconsistency of the world. We still have to show up and do our thing regardless of the climate out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then, you know, that is maybe the difficult part of it, but the part of it that maybe, you know, that's the part that might be harder over time. The part that might be easier over the time is our, you know, consistency and our discipline that's developing and strengthening as like a habit. Yep. And to, you know, just showing up regardless, you know, lifting those weights of doing the work when it sucks. That's the hardest when you're like in the trenches. On Tuesday, there's been Tuesday nights where like I'm just grinding. I'm like, I'm tired. I don't really want to be doing this right now because it's not the fun stuff. This is the fun stuff as we record this Saturday night, sipping, chilling. This is the fun stuff. This is the glamour stuff. This is like NBA players playing in the game. This is like rappers at the show. This is the fun stuff. But in order to be able to enjoy the fun stuff and perform at an elite level for the big game, you've got to be in the trenches, showing up at practice and for your scheduled workouts and commitments when your state isn't where you want it to be. You know, everyone wants to have their best day every day, but you're not going to. But you can't let your output be dictated by your state. You know,
I love it, man. We talking about practice, not a game.
Practice.
But we talking about practice, man. What are we talking about? Practice? We talking about practice, man. We talking about practice. We talking about practice. We ain't talking about the game. We talking about practice, man.
I think that's exactly where I wanted this topic to go. Like you're seeing what I'm seeing in that. Like I think it's cool to find little topics like that, like something as simple as the things are easier at the beginning, and like just think about that and how that applies. Like I think when you start to see the domino effect, that's why I wrote this down. Like it wasn't like I was in yoga class like I want to talk about whatever she was gonna say. No, that one like did something here, then it did something here and here and here. Like it was just it was like I see it everywhere. But I agree, and I think another thing that is true for me personally is you can't be consistent for everything.
True.
So that's where it becomes again about choices. Like it's like if I choose to be consistent about the podcast and working out and my job and my relationship, you know, like everything that you start to line up, it's like it just goes back to you're spreading yourself thin again. Like, and that's what I'm personally have set as a goal for myself is to just work on balancing the consistencies, picking a few and just balancing them. I'm the type of person that I will pick a consistency or something that I'm going to be consistent in, and then I just focus on it too hard, and everything else gets out of balance. And that, you know what that's really good for? The thing that you want to be consistent on. It's great for that.
Right.
Yeah, you can succeed at anything, but then you fall off on the other things. And that's where it's just like, I'm going to pick 3 that I know I can commit to, and I'm gonna be like the best I can at each of those equally.
It's a good number. Instead
of going 100% on one and 0 on the other 2. I mean, maybe with those 3, I'm 33, 33, 33, but it's the best 33 of me. I mean, that's the best for me. I just think that balance is important.
Yeah. Super. I mean, dude, we could do a whole episode on balance. I mean, yeah, you're right. There's only 100% of you. So you are the manager of how that 100% is distributed.
Right.
You know? And so it's like, I think, like just like you, I feel the same way that choosing a few things is the way to go, you know, and the podcast is one of the chosen few right now, currently.
Right.
You know?
For your creative side. But you mentioned you have like a creative side. You said you're writing music again too, which is dope.
Yeah.
But for your creative side, lately the podcast has been pushing the forefront, and it shows. I feel like, you know, we got we got a series of episodes to look back on. Season 1,
a catalog,
the vault.
It will be cool to look back on the catalog too. When our future selves are current and reflecting on the old days. But the podcast is where creatively, I've found a sense of consistency since July 1st. And that's good for me. I needed that. It's showing me that. It's reminding me that I can show up for the creative stuff that matters most for me. And then, like you mentioned, as of kind of this week, I've really tapped back into the songwriting, and that's been kind of my abandoned, long lost gift that's collected dust and, in the basement for a little while now. And just remembering that, just that's one of the things that I'm supposed to be doing. I mean, it's one thing to choose the few things that you're going to focus on, but it's, before making those choices, it's also important to really check in with yourself on if it clicks. If those things, all those things better click.
Yeah.
Yoga has clicked for you.
You're
no
right.
question about that. That's been a clicking point. You didn't just blindly look at a list of here's 15 hobbies that could be interesting. Yoga. All right, let's do yoga. Let's give it a try. This will be my yoga phase. No, man, it's deeper than that for you. You've connected with it. You've got that's a healthy, very positive, great habit and practice. I love yoga, and I've loved the hot yoga you've taken me to. I think we're due. I think by here one of these next couple of weeks, I'm gonna get back to it. But I mean, and the podcast for you too. The podcast has clicked with you too. So your work shows too. I mean, you've done every bit of at least 50% of this show, to this point, man. And so it's the podcast. Having these conversations with you, talking out these topics that come natural to us and that we feel, and bringing value to people, and that clicks for us. Songwriting clicks for me, like freestyling clicks for me. That's what I'm doing again, freestyling, and then listening back and writing from my freestyles, just like the old days. You know what I mean? And I think even the moment that as a creative, you even I just did in the moment, just without thinking, spontaneously said the old days. That's when that there's something to tap back into. It's when Jordan comes back to what he was cut out to do for that final leg of his career. You know what I mean? I feel there's still a lot more for me to explore in the music world, and I quite frankly think music will be a part of my life forever. I'm pretty confident.
Agree.
And it's just learning about the possibilities of careers with songwriting or within the music industry, and all these possibilities that clicks for me. So podcasting, music, those things definitely deserve those bigger chunks of the pie chart of me,
for sure. I think that's great, man. I think that's not giving up on your dream kind of stuff. You know what I mean? It's evolving it. It's changing it. It's I heard you today talking about songwriting. I'm thinking that could be that. That's so sweet to have a goal and then have it evolve, and knowing what you just said, that goal is going to evolve your entire life, and you're cool with that, and that's a connection that you're talking about.
Pokemon evolve.
Hey, there you go.
Worth the wait.
Hey, let's go. I mean, I just think that's admirable. I think that to have a passion like that is just something that a lot of people don't have. And I guess I can't speak for everybody, but I know that I have never thought I had something like that. You know what I mean? I think, but seeing a podcast or dedicating myself to yoga or just trying new things, you start to kind of evaluate things like that. Can this be something that's a part of my lifestyle? And I think when you do that, you'll eventually find it.
No question.
You know, just like you'll eventually find the way that music will consistently be a part of your life, whether it be a true job or a hobby or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I think relationships are that way. Like what are you looking for? You know,
Yeah.
You'll date many people. I'm not saying you particularly, but like people will date many people to find the right one. I mean, if you really are interested in finding a partner, you're gonna go out there and find the one.
Yeah.
Just like that, it's just like never giving up on something.
Yeah, and seeing what you're looking for, like, you know, you will find what you're looking for, I guess. You know,
Yeah.
like there's this this like thing that's like, all right, now think about like the color red, and like now look around the room for the color red. You're seeing a bunch of these things that are like the color red.
Yeah.
You know, and okay, you got them, and then it's like, all right, now that we're like looking back at each other again, now how many things did you see that were green? You can't recall one thing off the bat. You weren't looking for green. You weren't looking for green.
Exactly.
So it's like now you look for green, you start seeing all this other stuff. Actually, not a lot of green stuff over there. Bad example. Should use black.
We got some the carpets.
Yeah. But like, you know what I mean? It's all about like you're gonna come upon and find whatever you're looking for.
Whatever you're looking for. That's a great topic and a great segue into kind of, I don't know if we've ever talked about that, but I have also been kind of thinking about that. I think that you have to look at things that way. You know, if you're on I like to use this example, for instance. If you're walking around your neighborhood or just walking on a trail, for instance, and it's like a beautiful day out and there's all this great scenery, woods, river, all this kind of stuff. But if you're like in your own head, you don't even see all that beauty. Like, I know that sounds really corny and cliche, but it's like, that's like a quick example of like, if you are not looking for the beauty around you, you just won't see it. Like, our minds are capable of distracting you from things that are right there. And I think that's something I've been educating myself on, is that, you know, just trying to think about things that are fortunate in your life or people that do care about you already, but you don't see it because you're so focused on finding it somewhere else or finding it in this definition. It's like, I think kind of tackling some of those inner past tendencies are just like really powerful for me personally. And I just think that everybody has those things. Like, if you're constantly seeking, you're never enjoying what you have. You know what I mean? It's kind of like what you said. Once you reach your goal, you want more.
Yeah.
You want more. But eventually you have to get away from that.
And I'm skipping the practice. AI when it comes to the checks, I'm like, taxes.
And that's a wrap for episode 9. If you've made it this far, we hope you enjoyed. We really appreciate you listening, as always. This was a fun episode for Lons and I to record. This was later on in one of our recording sessions on a Saturday night. We were feeling relaxed, had been kind of talking for a good period of time, and feeling present in the moment and not really feeling any stress. It was just a good creative environment, and I think it's a good reminder that it's oftentimes when a lot of us do our best work is when we're not feeling stressed, when we're with the right people, and when you're kind of just passionate about what you're doing, and you're doing things because you want to and not because you have to. I think that kind of shows in this episode. So hope you enjoyed it, and thanks again. Another way you guys can connect with us is through our Spotify playlist. We have a What's Current Spotify playlist that has a lot of songs that Lons and I have been listening to, and we'll both kind of add things throughout the week to that playlist. So if you like some of the music that you've heard on the podcast in the past, feel free to check that out. We'll include a link in the show notes. So yeah, hope you guys check that out and enjoy it. And thanks again for listening, and have a great week. We'll be back next week. We'll talk to you guys then.